President Jimmy Carter is in hospice care. The Carter Center sharing that the 98-year-old has opted to, quote, spend his remaining time at home. Lauren Blanchard is live in Washington with the details. Hey, Lauren.
Hi, Lawrence. Former President Jimmy Carter is the longest-living U.S. president today. He moved to hospice care at his home in Plains, Georgia, after years of health challenges. His nonprofit, the Carter Center, put out this statement a few hours ago. After a series of short hospital stays, former U.S. President Jimmy Carter today decided to spend his remaining time at home with his family and receive hospice care instead of additional medical intervention. He has the full support of his family and his medical team. His grandson, Jason Carter, tweeted this: "I saw both of my grandparents yesterday. They are at peace, and as always, their home is full of love." Carter served as the 39th president. He held office from 1977 to 1981. Lawrence.
Yeah. And Lauren, we know that President Carter is just as known for his post-presidency work, like the Habitat for Humanity, right?
Yeah, well, even well into his 90s, Jimmy Carter could be found with a hammer in hand. He was very active building homes for the poor with Habitat for Humanity. The CEO put out this statement about his most famous volunteer just a bit ago. Quote, "All of us at Habitat for Humanity are lifting up President and Mrs. Carter in prayer as he enters hospice care. We pray for his comfort and for their peace, and that the Carter family experiences the joy of their relationships with each other and with God in this time." Jimmy Carter and his wife, the former First Lady Rosalind, were volunteers with Habitat for more than 35 years. And after meeting as college sweethearts, they were the longest married first couple. His family, though, is asking for privacy at this time. Lawrence.
A true love story. We're praying for the former president tonight. Thank you, Lauren. Alert: the toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. This week, officials did their best to reassure the public after a Norfolk Southern train carrying a dangerous gas derailed. The gas was released to avoid an explosion, and while the EPA and Ohio state officials say that the air is safe to breathe, experts are concerned the air and the water are not safe. Tonight, we know the Biden administration has finally deployed FEMA. But this community is demanding action from the railroad, local leaders, and the federal government, and they will not be ignored.
I've been to my shop a few times. Each time I go in, I put on an N95 mask and goggles. They don't do any good because I can still smell it.
I've had a headache, and a lot of children are having some issues with rashes, discoloration of the skin. My brother-in-law actually went to the hospital and got checked out. So it's affecting everybody in one way or another.
Folks, if this isn't an emergency, I don't know what is.
We're a small community, yeah, we're country people, but we care. We all care. This is home. This has been home for people for years. And I mean, we want answers.
We have a town of 4,700 people that are scared, want answers. And, as far as the federal government's concerned, I don't have much faith in them.
I want to bring in East Palestine resident and mother Chelsea Simpson. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining the program. Can you tell us a little bit what life is like there? Are you feeling any burn sensation? What does the water look like to you and your family?
Whenever we go back home to our house in East Palestine, because we are not staying there right now, I do experience rashes and sore throats, headaches. So does my husband when he has went. And we're not there long, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes at most when we do stop. I didn't notice any smell in my water when I smelled it yesterday for the first time when I did stop, but I don't trust it.
Chelsea, do you think that the water is safe to drink? I mean, you say you don't trust it. You got all these government officials saying that they have run every test possible. And I continue to see reports showing that the animals can't survive. If the fish can't drink the water and survive in the water, I don't know if I would feel safe drinking it myself.
No, absolutely not. I would not drink it. I would not let my kids drink it. not a chance.
Chelsea, do you feel like that these officials, I mean, finally FEMA is there. Do you feel like our leaders are doing enough to help you all with this problem?
No, I don't. I mean, now that they are here, I hope that they do try their best. But they should have been here probably like 2 weeks ago. From
What
when
do you
this
think
did
took
happen.
so long, Chelsea?
I think personally, they were trying to kind of brush us under the rug. So, just thinking we would just let it go and go on about the business, keep running the trains, because what was it, 10 minutes later after they lifted our evacuation in our town that people could go home, there was trains running already. How did you clean up that mess in less than 48 hours and get your trains running? How?
That's a good question. What would you like to see immediately from our government officials? It seems like the CEO of the railroad was there today. What do you want to hear from him?
I would like to hear from him that he's going to be here to help, make sure that they fix it the right way, make sure that we are taken care of. There's going to be a lot of families displaced from this. There is, because I don't feel comfortable going back. That has to be in our soil. So in a few years from now, that could come back up into our water, air. There's a lot of people displaced. How is he going to help the people who do not feel comfortable or safe because of all of the unknown in the future?
Yeah. You raise a lot of good questions. I'm just curious, what took all of these leaders so long to get here? You guys have been displaced, but it seemed like they took their happy time to get to the city. We'll be following, ma'am. Thanks so much for joining me tonight.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Got it.